Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you can see, we are here doing the live stream only to one place. I will have to re-upload this if you happen to be a live stream viewer that exclusively watches the episodes on the Tube of You. That will be coming after we are done with the live stream because I still am having difficulty figuring out simulcasting from using my third party app. I've reached out to them. Their advice has not been helpful thus far. So it's been like a, I don't know, month long saga, maybe 2 months going on now. I don't know, guys. But whatever, we're still doing it. And that's that. So welcome, and I will be right back in about 20 seconds. If I can actually do this darn thing. What is going on? All right, I guess I have to re-upload. Hold, please. I think it is this. Let's see if that works. Yes, that looks correct. Okay, be back in 20 seconds. All right. Welcome, 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 everybody, to another episode of Tarot by Hillary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hillary of tarotbyhillary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because, yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. So, for tonight's episode, we are doing, how do I say this? It's not necessarily an unboxing because I have used this deck before and I love it. So it's not a true unboxing in the way of, taking out my embroidery scissors, lovingly opening the plasticine and wrapping, getting the new deck smell, all of that stuff. That's not happening tonight. But I'm pretty darn certain that we have never done an unboxing of the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot, which is by Lola Pickett's, Cosmic Animal Art by Tanya Castile. And then I think the third collaborator was Tigray, if I'm remembering correctly. Beautiful, beautiful deck. I supported the Kickstarter of this a while ago. So what I got in the Kickstarter was this beautiful hardbound version of the guidebook, full color guidebook. Okay, full color. Gorgeous. So if you don't happen to have your tarot deck handy, you can always do a little bit of bibliomancy and then get your message that way, which is nice. You can do it that way. So guidebook, the deck itself, and then there was a spread cloth as well, or not necessarily a spread cloth, but there was a cloth that had the cosmic starry sky, kind of like a galaxy looking thing, which I have used before as a background for other tarot decks. And of course, I'm not going to be able to put my hand on it right now. I want to. Let me see here. That is probably in one of my boxes. But that was what the Kickstarter came with, for the level of support or sponsorship or backing that I did. And so this came out, the first edition came out in 2018. Okay. So I've had this deck since 2018, 2019. Yes, look at the sparkly. And at that time, I wasn't doing the live stream. I hadn't started the live stream yet. So I'm fairly confident that we never did an unboxing of this deck. So we're doing an unboxing for it tonight. And we are using it for the entire month of July for Card of the Day polls, which is going to be up on my social media. You've probably already seen it happening already. I did do our Tarot Tuesday, which is a choose your own adventure. So you guys have already been kind of seeing the artwork, seeing the messages. And a lot of the messages, especially the more wordy interpretations that I've been posting, have been coming directly from the guidebook. I know I probably should have attributed that in the post, but I ran out of room. So going forward, I will definitely say when I'm quoting from the guidebook and when I'm providing my own interpretations, because I think transparency is sexy, and giving correct attribution to the writing of these guidebooks is very important to do. So that is our topic for tonight's episode, is unboxing the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot deck, which is July's deck of the month for Card of the Day polls. Revisitation, not a true unboxing. But as always, we will do the 3 pillars of these episodes, as well as the main topic of these episodes, which is astrology from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro-Biz Digest. At the top of the episode, we will be doing the mid-episode reading, in which one lucky viewer will win a free 3-card reading with me live on the broadcast. So please stay tuned to be considered for a live tarot reading. We'll do that about the middle of the episode. And then at the end of the episode, we will do the weekend forecast, which is when I pull a tarot card or an oracle card to read the energy of the weekend, so you can enter into the weekend prepared and not scared. So if that sounds good to you guys, let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up, give me a fire emoji, whatever you want to do, and we will get started with the astrology from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro-Biz Digest. And of course, in the middle of that, the meat of the episode is the revisitation, aka the unboxing. And if I had really been organized earlier today, I would have pulled out the major arcana cards to show you in depth the major arcana cards. But that is the good part of having a full color guidebook. So I can go through the guidebook and you can see piece by piece, image by image, the major arcana, and then we'll break for the mid-episode reading, and I will do the reading from the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot, because I like to do that. When we do an unboxing episode, I really like to use the deck, if I can, to provide the reading for the mid-episode reading. Sounds good? I hope so. So like, for example, the Fool of this deck is Coyote. So you can see in full color Coyote. So Fran is here. Hello, Fran. Welcome, Fran. Fran says, let's get to it. So because Fran says, let's get to it, let's get to it. So I know off the top of my head that we had one of the major transits that we had this week in the astrology was the full moon in Capricorn yesterday. How do I know that? Because we had a coven meeting. So full moon in Capricorn. I know that right off the rip. I also know that Mercury retrograde is coming up for us. So we'll get into that. I want to just give you fair warning. Okay. So astrology from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro-Biz Digest, aka the Tarot Lady. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I have found it to be incredibly helpful in planning my personal life as well as my tarot business. $99 for a year-long subscription. Astrology in layman's terms, straight to your email inbox. Fantastic. If you are liking what you're hearing tonight on the live stream, I usually cite it from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because I don't want to give away the farm. I want to give credit where credit's due, which is Teresa. If you're liking what you're hearing, the link to purchase a copy of your own is up on screen right now, thetarolady.com/astrobiz digest to get a copy for yourself. All right. So starting off strong, we have astrology weekly forecast for July 7th to the 13th, 2025. So heads up, Mercury stations retrograde next week on the 18th to be specific. So July 18th. This week, be sure to do all of your pre-Mercury retrograde preparation, back up your computers, sign contracts, purchase tech gear. Get that stuff out of your hair now this week so that you can sail through the tricky Mercury vibe. If you're a writer, you're going to love this. Uranus will be in Gemini from the 7th, so that happened a couple of days ago, through November 7th. So July 7th to November 7th, Uranus is in Gemini. This transit favors innovation, new ideas, and unconventional perspectives. It's also terrific for literature. Write that book, put together a proposal, pitch to agents or publishers. Also, your newsletters may have some extra zing during this period because you can find the coolest words. So, heads up for you if you've got a writerly bent. You're going to love Uranus in Gemini over the next few months into November. Full moon in Capricorn on the 10th, so yesterday, is for celebrating business wins. What have you accomplished so far? Is 2025 rocking your world or kicking your ass? Be proud of what you've achieved and let go of the crap that isn't working. It's okay to say, I'm done. Finally, Saturn stations retrograde on the 13th, so that's coming up on Sunday, a yearly occurrence that favors reviewing and redoing business structures. Look at your foundation. Is it solid? Have you spread yourself too thin? Is it time to trim the fat and power up the base? You'll have until November 27th to secure your business fortress. So those are the main 4 transits that are starting up this week. So that's a lot, guys. All right. All right. Let us get into the nitty gritty for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday, you needed to start off on a mellow note this morning. The moon is void after the full moon in Capricorn yesterday, so it's best not to rush into your Friday. The moon will be in Aquarius for most of the weekend, beginning today, Friday, at 1:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're already in it. We're already in moon in Aquarius. Finally, the void moon is over, so you can focus on Aquarian activities, team meetings, live streams, tech upgrades, group events, and learning new computer techniques. Business intuition accelerates when the moon trines Uranus at 1:42 p.m. Trust your instincts then. If you're not feeling it, don't say yes. Concentration kicks in when the moon sextiles Saturn at 4:55 p.m. Use this time for activities that require focus. It's also dope for serious meetings. Gather your team and brainstorm new ideas. Keep that vibe going when the moon sextiles Neptune at 5:20 p.m., perhaps over dinner. Powerful business breakthroughs are possible when the moon conjoins with Pluto at 6:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that literally just happened 4 minutes ago. Drinks afterward to celebrate? Yes, please. Today, Friday, July 11th, is a power day for Capricorn and a weak day for Cancer. Which is interesting because I know quite a few astrological sign Cancer birthdays going on today. So happy birthday if it's your birthday today. And I'm also having drinks because the astrology said so. Drinks afterward to celebrate. Let's celebrate now, right? All right. So Saturday and Sunday. Saturday morning begins with a Moon Venus trine at 5:07 a.m. That is a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ideal for PR or group activities. If you're not interested in early morning anything, have a team member handle it for you or automate it. At 3:45 p.m., the moon opposes Mercury and stations void, the perfect recipe for misunderstanding. So be careful around 3:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Choose your words carefully all the way until Sunday evening. So that's going to carry through till Sunday evening when the moon enters Pisces at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nothing lands well before then. The moon in Pisces is your best opportunity to rest, make art, and inspire your people via compassionate acts. Also, on Sunday at 12:07 a.m., Saturn stations retrograde. So we already spoke about that. We already read all of the info above the horoscopes to learn more. Both days, Saturday and Sunday of this weekend, are power days for Aquarius and weekdays for Leo. It's a lot. It's a lot of transits, guys. A lot. So, at this time, does anyone have any particular questions about other days of the week that I didn't mention for this week? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I will take a peek at the AstroBiz Digest for an astrological reason why for whichever day you are asking about. So I'll give you guys a minute or two, and then we will move on to unboxing the Wild Messenger's Alchemical Tarot. Is it the same as the Wild Unknown? No, it is not. It is not the same as the Wild Unknown. I think in many ways the Wild Messenger's Alchemical Tarot is it's going to be controversial, but I'm going to say it. I think that the Wild Messenger's Alchemical Tarot is what the Wild Unknown possibly wanted to be and didn't quite get there. Because I will say for the Wild Unknown, which I love the Wild Unknown by Kim Kranz. It's a great deck, but it definitely has a love it or hate it to it. There's many people that are like ride or die for the Wild Unknown, and then there are some people that like absolutely hate it, and it doesn't really have any in betweens. People either love it or hate it. There's no medium response for the Wild Unknown tarot deck, and I do feel that some of the imagery, especially in the minor arcana, doesn't quite match what I feel like the Three of Swords would be, or would there's certain cards where I don't feel like the animal match or the nature match quite conveys what the tarot card is, according to like traditional meanings of each of the 78 cards of the tarot. And I do think with Wild Messengers, there is more of a compatible spirit between the animals that are selected for each and every of the 78 cards of the tarot. The animals work well with the card that they're representing, the tarot card that they're representing, whether it's major or minor arcana. That's my belief anyway. So before we even get into the unboxing or the revisitation of the Wild Messengers, I want to address that whole like differences between Wild Unknown and Wild Messengers, because they are very different. Makes sense? Hopefully. Yes. Okay. I'm guessing that no one has any questions or wants me to take a peek at any other days in this week. Because we do have, 4 rather big transits going on this week. So I think that's enough astrology. But if something comes up, just let me know. I still have it up on one of my tabs. And let's move into the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot and unboxing it. So again, it was a Kickstarter that I backed back in, I think it was 2018 or 2019. The last time I tried to look up information about it to see like if I was going to use it as deck of the month for card of the day polls, which I was trying not to. I think I might have mentioned it the last time we did the live stream was I was waiting for reviewer copies of another tarot deck and possibly was going to feature that tarot deck for July's card of the day or deck of the month for card of the day polls, and it just didn't arrive on time. So when I finally made the announcement that it was just like, okay, we're doing Wild Messengers, that's happening, and if I haven't already done an unboxing, we'll do one on Friday. Made the decision, right? And then sure enough, I'm sitting on the couch, I'm like doing my card of the day or answering an email, and my husband came into the room and he just plops a package right down on my lap, and I just had this look on my face, like because I had just made the decision. And of course, that's one of my reviewer copies of a deck that I will be reviewing. We will be working with. You will see it, the Visionary Woman Tarot. That's when that arrived. Yesterday morning. I'm just like, okay. And of course, Mr. Tarot by Hillary was just like, let me guess. Like he just saw the look on my face and he just started laughing. He was like, let me guess. Was that the deck that you were waiting on and wanted to do as your deck of the month for card of the day polls? And I'm like, yes. He was just laughing at the look on my face because I was just so frustrated. But it's okay. It's okay. You guys will get to see it probably the month of August or September. I don't know. There's a couple of decks winging their way to me. So, and they all need to be reviewed. So you will see it eventually. Katie's here. Hello, Katie. Welcome, welcome. So you missed the AstroBiz Digest, but you can definitely catch up on the replay, either here on the Book of Face or later on when I post it to the tube of you. Again, haven't figured out why the heck simulcasting has abandoned me, but don't have time for it. It's fine. We'll roll on and I'll repost it when we're done with live stream. Okay, so Wild Messengers, Alchemical Tarot. 78 tarot cards and 2 wild cards for a total of 80 cards in this deck. Earth and its creatures are speaking. Are you listening? Oh, let me just check my settings, make sure that I'm using my correct microphone. Yes, I am. Okay, very good. Remember how to connect to our wild world. This tarot deck's 78 animals and 2 wild cards help you understand the alchemy of transformation and access your inner wisdom. Use alone or with the Wild Messenger's guidebook to call forth insight and to awaken the wild within you. And they also donated 2.22% profits for habitat restoration as well during this Kickstarter promotion that they did. So the first edition was published in 2018. Again, I got it for backing a Kickstarter. And the Kickstarter page is still there, along with beautiful, beautiful videos. So I was going to see if we can, can we go to play? Oh, well, please. And now I'm trying to pause it. Hold on. Let's see if I can share the tab so you can see this beautiful, beautiful video. Okay. Share screen. And audio. And I am going to hide my face, and that'll do it. All right.
Hey, it's Lola Pickett, co-creator of the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot and author of the guidebook. I am so excited you're here supporting this project, which has been 2 years in the making. Whether you are a professional tarot reader, a collector of beautiful things, or simply love listening and hearing and connecting with the messages of animals, this deck has something for you. We've put so much intention into creating a very unique bridge between animal messages and the tarot. And what you will find in these cards and in our guidebook is unlike anything you've ever experienced, either in the world of tarot or in animal oracle decks. The way that this has been written is to make the messages of the world around you super clear so that you can connect to your intuition, get guidance about where you are and where you are headed, and how to get where you want to go in a way that is very accessible and deep enough to satisfy even the most experienced tarot reader. So go ahead and place your pre-order for this first edition deck. We are so excited to witness these animals swimming and crawling and flying all the way around the world into your hearts and into your homes, from us to you. Please enjoy the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot, as we know you will, and thank you so much for supporting this project of our hearts.
So, again, not available anymore. And I believe it is out of print. So, I was trying really, really hard, guys, really, really hard to not do this, to feature a deck that you can actually, you know, access and bring into your homes and use and enjoy. I just so happened to have it. I didn't realize that it was out of print when I started using it. And I don't know, there was just something about, I started to play around with the Wild Unknown tarot deck at the beginning of the month, and I was just like, huh, do I want to do that? Because I feel like I've worked with it before. I feel like I've it was speaking to me, but not quite speaking to me, because I was actually thinking about using their animal Wild Unknown Animal Spirit, which is like their kind of version of medicine cards, but you do need the guidebook for that. And I also think it's interesting that the box says on the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot, use alone or with the Wild Messengers guidebook. I think it is my strong opinion that you need both for this particular deck, because there is information in the guidebook about animals and the connections between why this animal was selected for this particular tarot card that makes it all make sense. And you might not be aware of that connection if you did not have the guidebook to access, to read. So trying really hard not to go with the Wild Messengers this month. But sometimes I'm gonna have a deck that you guys don't. And I don't want to restrict myself, and I hope that you will enjoy, at the very least, the beautiful artwork, and also the messages that come out of these daily card of the day interpretations that I post on my social media. So at the very least, I can do that and at least share this beautiful deck in some way. But if you were to purchase this deck, know that it is out of print, and know that because it is out of print, it's going to be a hot commodity. So the price tag on this, I was looking, I think it was just at the guidebook, was like $200. So I'm not trying to bankrupt you guys. I'm not trying to tell you break the bank for this deck. But you do you. I'm just saying, it's a little bit more difficult to purchase this deck because it is out of print, and because it is out of print, there might be a price tag that goes along with it. Okay, okay. So with that caveat and with that disclaimer, let's dive into the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot. So wild cards, um, quality deck, thick but not too thick cardstock and high-end printing, made for ease of shuffling and designed to last through thousands of readings. It is pretty damn good cardstock. I'm not gonna lie about that. It is good. And the backs of the cards are reversible textured backs. And so they hide reversals. If you read with reversals, they hide reversals until it's time to flip them over. So I will show you the box. There you go. Pulls out. So it's a little bit of a loosey goosey, but it still kind of holds. I might put like an elastic band or something around it. Like if I threw it into my bag, I think I would probably put a little bit of wrapping around it so that it wouldn't like telescope out in my bag. So you've got wild messengers and like the antlers for the wild messengers on one side, and on here, sparkly, shiny. We love shiny. Okay. Open it up. In the box here, at the top of the box, it says, "May your journey and exploration bring healing, awareness, compassion, and kindness to all who cross your path." Really nice. You know what? It still has new deck smell. I don't really use it that often. And then the base of the box is the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot logo. Okay. And then on the sides of the inner box, an inner bottom box, you have the symbols of all of the different elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirits on both sides, the longer side. And then on each side of the shorter side, one side says "Live Wild" and the other side says "Live Free." Beautiful attention to detail on the packaging. I so happen to have the deep card is the star card coming up. So star would be zebra. So it has the title on the top, it has the animal association, and then it has the number association too. So for all major arcana cards, it's going to look like this with the designation, okay? With minor arcana cards, there is the number at the top and then the alchemical symbol at the bottom, and it's color coded as well. So I believe that is, I want to say that's either earth or fire. I think that's fire. Again, I believe this is another reason why you would really need the guidebook in order to properly work with this deck. So there is some renaming in this deck as well. So instead of it being page, knight, queen, and king, there is some renaming. So like, for example, let's see. Of course, now I'm not going to be able to find one of the... Let me not skip ahead to the court cards. So here's your little title card. This is your invitation to stop, drop, and breathe. So you can take that out before you shuffle. Here is the back. Beautiful textured kind of snakeskin back. Literally, like you can feel the pebbling. You can feel the scales. Beautiful. Okay. So feels very nice. Good cardstock. Very good cardstock. Let's give some ASMR of shuffling to the microphone. Okay. And it has that kind of starry, cosmic, galactic background behind the kind of almost like the double helix kind of snakeskin pattern. Okay. So let's go to the guidebook because I do think the guidebook is important. And I will mention about not only the 78 cards of the tarot, but also the 2 additional wild cards, which I believe are Dragon and Griffin. So to the guidebook we go. So Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot by Lola Pickett with Cosmic Animal Art by Tanya Castile. Again, beautiful full color ribbon bookmark as well. Okay. Full table of contents, which is very, very important if you're first working with this deck and you don't know like what animal is that? I can't quite tell. It is broken up by dedication, table of contents, gratitude, the Kickstarter backers. So they have the names of each and every one of the Kickstarter backers on a page. Hold, please. Kickstarter. It's a lot. Let's see. Disclaimer, welcome to the wild, major arcana, minor arcana broken down by air, fire, water, and earth. So that is also renamed. It's not cups, swords, pentacles, and wands. It's air, fire, water, earth. Okay. 2 wild cards, the Griffin and the Dragon. And then it does have some example card spreads interpreting messengers in the wild. So I'm sure that has something to do with like, if you happen to see a cardinal, what does it mean? If you happen to see a skunk, what does it mean? Alchemical Awakening, Meeting the Creators, Resources, and Endnotes. So let's go through one by one the major arcana, which is what I like to do when I do an unboxing. We're going to go through it using the guidebook because it is full color. And I want to show you some of the real nice features about the guidebook. That each and every card, so they do go a little bit more into depth about the major arcana cards, but they do get very juicy with the minor arcana too, which I appreciate. So you don't need to be an expert in tarot to understand how to work with these cards. And yet the guidance herein offers enough depth and twists on the traditional card meanings to satiate more experienced tarot aficionados. I think that's very true. Let's see. Each card is intuitively paired with an animal, adding specificity, nuance, and depth to the traditional interpretation of that card. The writing for each card is a unique synthesis of wildlife biology, tarot archetypes, mythos, and elemental alchemy, a combination of earth-based paths which will help you gain unparalleled insight through your readings for yourself and others. So, the major suit is emblazoned with their symbol for etheric spirit. So these are the major arcana. To honor the gender spectrum, many of the major and all of the royal cards are renamed to honor gender fluidity. Page becomes seeker, knight turned into initiate, queen transformed into teacher, and king shapeshifted into master. Traditional major arcana card names are listed on each card and in the index for easy cross-referencing. And so the minor suits as well are now swords to air, wands to fire, cups to water, and pentacles to earth. This is another interesting part of this deck too. It's not just the Wild Messengers, it's the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot. So alchemy and tarot. In the guidebook, each major card is associated with a particular phase of the alchemical process. Other decks may make different connections between alchemy and major archetypes, and you may make different connections as you become familiar with the alchemical map. We encourage you to explore this further as alchemy and archetypes create extremely potent readings. So Alchemy of Awakening, there is the process and how it coincides with human awakening on page 297 of this book. Each alchemical phase is facilitated by one or more of the four elements. Like all humans, you travel through the alchemical transformation process many times throughout your life as you awaken your consciousness. And it's helpful to know which phase you're currently navigating and which phase comes next. Okay. So, are we ready to go through the major arcana? So, the Fool card is the Coyote. Phase of alchemy is calcination. I love that each of these cards has an invocation, including the minor arcana. Each and every one of them has an invocation. So it's basically, and I'm not going to read every single invocation for the major arcana because then we'll be here for a very long time. We're already at minute 42. So invocation is Coyote, help me take a leap of faith. That's the start of the invocation. So very interesting. Coyote asks, can you laugh at yourself? Can you try and lighten up about your purpose? In nature, coyotes are remarkably adaptable, able to thrive in almost any environment. So this is the kind of information that you just won't happen to know unless you're a biologist, unless you've studied a particular animal. So I find that to be very helpful to be included. And making direct connections between aspects of that animal, whether it's flexibility or adaptations or their mating call or where they scent or where they mark, all of it is included. All of it is included in the guidebook. And I think because of that, it's very helpful to make connections with the tarot through the lens of nature and animal that you might not otherwise make. So each of the cards has what the card is, the animal, the tarot card name itself, an invocation, interpretation, and then the animal speaking. So, like literally, coyote speaks, jellyfish speaks, jaguar speaks. So it's like a message from their perspective. So, very cool. So the Fool is coyote, and there's reflection prompts as well. I think that's the one addition to the major arcana that the minor arcana may not have, the reflection prompts. Okay, moving on to the Magician card, which is renamed the Alchemist. Fair. Jaguar. Phase of alchemy, dissolution. Jaguar, help me remember my magic so I can partner with reality. Alchemize your negative experiences into gold. Lay claim to your desires and rise. All right. The High Priestess card is renamed Healer, and it is Moose. Phase of alchemy is separation. Invocation, every sensation is a sign that my intuition is present. Moose, I invoke your wild antlered antennae to help me catch and trust the signals and synchronicities of my higher self. You guys are very quiet. So either you're into this or you're just like, why are you using a deck that we can't buy reasonably? And so in this particular card in the guidebook, they have psychic senses. So the clairs, we've talked about the clairs before in this live stream, like claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, clairgustance, clairsense, clairtangency or psychometry, and also intuition sharpening exercises, which we've done before too. Traffic psychic, guess which lanes, exits, or other driving choices other drivers are going to make as you drive along on your errands or commute. I call it car body language personally, but you do you. So that's Moose. Number 3, the Empress, or Gaia, is the Orca. Phase of alchemy is conjunction. I deserve to be nurtured. Like, these cards are so gorgeous, you guys. It's time to cultivate your curiosity and let all of life ignite your desire. As a sea mammal with a matriarchal society, the orca brings out more of your innate nurturing side, meaning your intuition will become an incredibly strong compass for you as you navigate new territories in life. So those are just like little tiny tidbits to give an example of what it's like working with this deck. So in that instance, for Orca, for the Empress, there's a guided meditation. Number 4, of course, this is not surprising, guys, because astrology comes into play quite a bit with tarot. Number 4 is renamed the Elder, the Emperor. It's the ram. Unsurprising, especially if you see the Rider-Waite-Smith version of the Emperor with the stone rams on his throne. Phase of alchemy is fermentation. Ram, I invoke your spirited confidence and forward-facing courage. The Hierophant is renamed Oracle, and it is the wolf. Phase of alchemy is distillation. I send and receive signals like a wild wolf in the moonlit forest. All surfaces reflect illumination if only I remember to see delight. When the Oracle Wolf howls into your cards, it's an invitation to be open to the benefits of structure, ritual, and routine. To consider that following a proven process can make an immensely helpful impact on your efforts. Wolf is here to help you stop rebelling against your own success. Like, some of the pull quotes on this are, wow. Okay. Number 6, the Lover's card, is renamed Divine Union, and it is represented by Tiger. Look how beautiful the tiger is. Phase of alchemy is coagulation. I release all other options as a sacred offering to the divine, and I devote myself fully to the path before me. Why the match with Tiger? I don't know. We'll find out as we work with this deck over the next month. With total devotion, all things become possible. Number 7 is Journey. That's the Chariot renamed to Journey, and it is a wild horse. Makes sense. Does make sense. You are harnessing your life as a vehicle. How does it feel to be in the driver's seat? Build your strength so you can ride this wave with grace and confidence. Number 8, the Strength card has been renamed to Power, representative of represented by Bison. I say yes and no with conviction. I discontinue saying maybe or offering explanations that dilute my potency. May I stand firm in my truth like a circle of bison in a snowstorm. Number 9, the Hermit is relabeled into Retreat, which is the, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, the Caracal, which is a secretive cat rarely seen by humans in its natural habitat. I feel like we pulled this card earlier this week, if I'm remembering correctly. Number 10, Destiny. I believe that's the one that I pulled today. I just haven't posted it yet, but I will. Which is renamed, the Wheel of Fortune is renamed to Destiny, and it's jellyfish. They are the ultimate messenger of going with the flow. Nothing is permanent. Karma, praying mantis. That's their renamed version of the Justice card. Face of alchemy is fermentation. You can declare injustice without becoming judge, jury, and executioner. Shift. The Hanged Man has been renamed to Shift, and it is the bat. Phase of alchemy is distillation. And if I'm remembering correctly, there are some common threads that go through this deck, as well as the Wild Unknown, and I believe the Hanged Man as a bat is one of them. The Death card is a butterfly. I think that's another commonality between this deck and the Wild Unknown. Death being represented as a butterfly. Phase of alchemy is coagulation. Death is renamed to rebirth. There's the butterfly. Butterfly is a beacon of hope during a time of painful transformation. When butterfly flutters into your reading, it's a sign that you're navigating an identity crisis starting from the outside in. And I'm sure with the biology, the animal biology of this is, when I became, Butterfly Speak says, when I begin my transformation from caterpillar to butterfly, I go through an incredible archetypal journey of disintegration. I quite literally fall apart. I unbecome. I unbecome in order to become. Number 14, Temperance, is renamed Integration, and it is the heart. Phase of alchemy is distillation. It is not the time to make a quick move or leap ahead. Heart, I call upon your keen ability to stay still and listen during this sacred pause. Time to find a balance between the worlds you walk in. The Devil card is renamed Trickster, represented by the Raven. Many, many different myths have Raven as a trickster. Raven is here to ask, are you bedeviling yourself? Shadows aren't necessarily bad things. They just haven't seen or been seen by the light yet. The Tower card is renamed Initiation, and it's represented by Rattlesnake. That is terrifying. I mean, I know it's the Tower card, but that is a terrifying rattlesnake. Good grief. Phase of Alchemy is Disillusion. Makes sense. It is the Tower after all. I accept that dissolution is rarely convenience. Despite this, I trust that through falling apart, I am able to build myself anew. Rattlesnake, please assure me that what appears intimidating or even potentially poisonous is also the antidote to the ways of being that no longer serve me. This destruction is medicine. Wow. The Star, which was the deep card before, I mentioned it before. Zebra. No renaming necessary. Phase of Alchemy is Separation. Zebra, I embody your bold patterns and step fully into my unique self-expression. The Moon, also not renamed, is represented by the Black Panther. Phase of Alchemy is Conjunction. Mystery and illusion are afoot when Panther pads into your cards. Others cling to illusions, finding perceived safety and upholding the status quo. Still others find disillusionment, feeling disheartened that their illusions have given way and can no longer be sure of what's real. I'm really hoping that we're still recording here. Should I double check? Because if I make it to the Moon card and I find out that nothing's recorded, I'm going to be very, very, very upset. Looks like we still are. Just going to double check it. Okay. Had to check, guys. Had to check. All right. Sun card. We got the sun. We received the sun card a couple of days ago, I think. Bald eagle. Phase of alchemy is fermentation. So the sun is basically about, and especially the connection between the eagle and the sun, clarity, confidence, and courage. You now have higher perspective, the result of your choice to participate proactively in the process of transformation. With perspective, you can truly soar. Okay. The Judgment card has been renamed Choice, and it is an owl. Owl, help me embody my purpose. I am at a choice point in my life. I channel your wisdom to help me go in a direction that will support the sharing of my gifts. Read between the lines of any and all people who impact your decisions at the moment. Making no decision is still a decision. Choose wisely. And finally, the World card has been renamed Home, and it is represented by a sea turtle. Invocation, I am home within myself and out in the world. While there is no such thing as perfection, I relax into knowing that everything inside and outside me belongs in the story we are all co-creating. Sea turtle brings you a sense of peacefulness and trust, a deep inner knowing that underneath whatever chaos, fear, and shadow is swirling, all is well. Yes, this moment will not last forever, so it goes. And then we move into the minor arcana and the the elements, starting with swords, the air. There is tabbing going on, color tabbing here, so you can quickly move through the guidebook as needed. And then your wild cards are mystical beings, and they are Griffin, Keeper of the Light, a combination of air, earth, and ether, and Dragon, Keeper of the Dark, alchemical elements of fire, water, and ether. Whereas the griffin is a protector from evil. In European myth, the dragon is often a harbinger of disruptive and destructive tendencies. So it's kind of like two sides of the same coin, those two wild cards. And then you move into different spreads, such as the Metamorphosis spread, the Choice Point spread, Interpreting Messengers in the Wild, Divine Union spread, Deeper Dreaming spread, and it has a full index as well, which I can definitely get behind. And then it also has the information about the alchemical process, calcination. So phase 1 is calcination, phase 2 is dissolution, phase 3 is separation, phase 4 is conjunction, phase 5 is fermentation, phase 6 is distillation, phase 7 is coagulation. So it kind of like repeats through the major arcana, I believe. So there you go, guys. This is the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot deck. We have the cards right here. We'll be working with this for the rest of the month of July for card of the day pulls. Do we want to do the mid-episode reading because it's kind of not mid anymore? I'll see if we have any takers. So as usual, some of our OG listeners or viewers know how this works, but basically what you want to do is to be considered for a live reading. You want to comment the word tarot into the chat as soon as I put up the comment snake in the lottery jar. Okay, and our countdown clock is set for 3 minutes and 33 seconds. That. We will select a winner when the timer goes off. I do want to remind you that we do this every Friday night, or we attempt to do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I usually do say on the Book of Face and the Tube of You, but the Tube of You has been not compliant with me lately, so I will repost the replay after the live stream is over to the Tube of You. But you can feel free to follow me on either platform because I do have playlists available of replays from the last, it's going to be 6 years in August, I believe. So please follow, and thank you. And if the timer goes off and there is no takers in the lottery jar, we will just move on to the weekend forecast. Oh, also, if there's any particular cards you want me to feature, because I know people are, like, oh, I need to know that the queens look like whatever, or like I need to know what the Three of Swords looks like, or I need to know, let me know in the chat and I will look. Like, oh, look, hello, hanged one, shift, the bat. You guys have been very, very quiet this episode. These do shuffle very well. I will say that. I love the backs of these too, especially the scales having that texture there. It's just lovely. All right, 30 more seconds. Or you're going to have to forever hold your peace until next Friday. I feel you, Katie. Sorry, I've been dragged away. Couldn't type. I've been listening though. Good, good. And you can always look at the replay. All right, so note takers tonight on the mid episode reading, which is totally fine. Sometimes we just don't need it. Um, and some of you have been very, generous with your mid episode reading, where you went in, you're just like, oh, I just had one, or like give it to somebody else, or like that's there. I like the spirit of democracy and fair play that's within this group. So it's appreciated. All right. So since we do not have a mid episode reading, and since we've already gotten through the Wild Messengers unboxing, as it were, mostly featuring the guidebook, but I do believe you really do need the guidebook to really get the most out of this tarot deck. And I think the connections that they made with the animals and the tarot cards that they were combined with are just like it. I will provide as much as I can when I'm doing card of the day posts to get the essence of like, oh, why Black Panther for the moon, or why this, or whatever. It's just like I will try and provide that. I will try and distill that, even if it's pages and pages of explaining why Black Panther is the right card or the right animal for the moon. But also, not only that, providing an interpretation that can really be useful for your card of the day if it resonates with you, because that's how I do my card of the day. It's just like not every card of the day every single day is going to be bang on the money for you. It's much like a horoscope. So that's the reason why I haven't been labeling my card of the day as card of the day for Friday, July 11th, 2025. Like, I don't want to do that, because sometimes it is very apt, but then they look at it and they're just like, oh, this is the card of the day from 5 days ago, but it's really, really pertinent for me today. Does that mean I'm wrong? No, it means whenever you see this card's message, that message might be for you. That's why I've started to phrase it that way. So, because, tarot can be very timey-wimey with its messages. We don't need to be constricted by space and time necessarily for these messages to get through to us and be helpful to us. All right. So let's do the weekend forecast. I'm going to put this back in the box. And we are going to pull from, I don't know. I think we should do one from the Nocturna Oracle, because it's been a couple weeks since we've done this one. And also, with the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot with the animal-y stuff. Nocturna is very animal-y, based on, the animals or the plants that come up like nocturnally. So let's do the weekend forecast from this one because it's been a while. All right. Nocturna. What do we need to know for this weekend? Especially knowing the astrology at the top of the episode, it's kind of like make sure your communication is really clear and you may be misunderstood. You just may be misunderstood. And just go with the flow and maybe not take it too personally. All right. Orchid. Okay. So we are getting the Orchid card from the Nocturna Oracle for this weekend. Let's see what that means. Orchid. Page 12. Okay. Ooh, get down with our bad selves. Yeah. Appropriate for the recent full moon. I thought so too. So, Orchid, sexuality, desire, and luxury. Okay. The word orchid comes from the Greek word orchis, which was coined by ancient Greek botanist Theophrastos, who believed the tubers of the plant resembled the male anatomy. Many ancient cultures associated them with virility and strength. In the Victorian era, they were highly sought after, and there was an entire industry built around collecting them. They were considered a luxury plant as they were only available in the tropics during the time. So, we need to get luxurious this weekend. What is it? Parks and Rec, I think? Treat yourself? Is that the right meme? But, there's many ways in which you can treat yourself. There's many ways to be luxurious without having to break the bank. Maybe this is my sign that it's okay to be showing you guys an out of print tarot deck for the month of July. It's okay. It's all right. At least we can all kind of benefit from the Kickstarter support that I gave however many years ago, not knowing it was going to be out of print by now and be such a hot commodity. So, Orchid. Virility, strength, highly sought after. You're highly sought after. So treat yourself like the highly sought after individual you are this weekend. Yes, Katie, all up for some luxury. Yes, please. Okay. All right. Because your tarot reader said so. And speaking of luxury, if you would like to treat yourself to a tarot reading, link is right below. www.tarotbyhillary.com to book a reading with me. All right, that's the episode tonight. That is the unboxing or revisitation of the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot. Beautiful, beautiful deck that we're working with for the entire month of July. For Card of the Day polls. So please make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms or the social media platform that you like to visit. I'm at Tarot by Hillary with one L on most social media platforms. So please follow me on your favorite one so you can get your Card of the Day messages from the Wild Messengers Alchemical Tarot. Yes, exactly. Be the queen we are. Exactly. Precisely. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Again, we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on different metaphysical or divination subject or witchy subject. I'm always open to suggestions for topics for upcoming episodes. So please don't be shy. Let me know what you want to learn about. And also if there's a particular deck that you got your eye on and it's just like, I would love Hillary to like work with that and unbox it and kind of share it with us and share the opinions. Let me know because I can reach out to publishers now and be like, hey, can you send me a review or copy of this book or this deck? My audience would be very interested in learning more about it. I can do that now, guys. Like, I can't believe it. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, best job ever. So once again, I am Hillary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because, yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I will see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes to you too, Katie. Have a wonderful weekend to all. Bye.